Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome to Talking Shit with your boy Sophisticated Jerk. And today, man, I saw this crazy clip that, covers this one crime story of this love triangle where the wife was messing with one of her co-workers and the husband, was looking at some of the texts and, found out she was cheating, and it kind of sent him over the edge where he snapped and end up killing the guy and, making the wife do some crazy stuff. So let me go ahead and pull up this clip. But the whole thing on this, man, that's why I always just tell people, like, man, if you have any thoughts of cheating, and just have the tough conversation, break off the marriage, the relationship, get up out of there. Don't play with people's emotions, because, man, you never know how they're gonna react and respond and stuff, and they could send them over the edge and stuff. And even people, if somebody is like in a marriage, man, don't jump into that, because like I said, it's that person that's married to the significant other or the other person. You don't know how they're gonna respond to stuff. So I thought this story, man, even though it's sad and it's a crazy story, it's a good thing to show you that you don't know the outcomes of every situation. But let me pull it up real quick. Give me 1 second. Yeah, the story was crazy.
It is a heinous crime sparked, police say, by a husband enraged that his wife might be having an affair. What happened next, we have to warn you, is so violent it may not be appropriate for some viewers.
This woman has 2 black eyes. The result, cops say, of a beating by her enraged husband after he discovered she was having an affair with a coworker. What authorities say happened next is shocking.
This case is especially heinous and gruesome.
31-year-old Brittany Barron told police her husband Armando was looking through her phone when he found text messages from her coworker Jonathan Amerald. They both worked at a medical supply company in New Hampshire. Brittany said what followed was a violent assault, with her husband beating her about the face repeatedly and strangling her so hard she says she passed out. Then her husband texted her lover pretending to be Brittany and lured him to meet at a park in the woods. When Emerald showed up for the middle of the night rendezvous with his alleged lover, a grim fate awaited him. That's when Brittany told investigators her husband turned and shot Jonathan 3 times, twice in the chest and once in the head. The couple then drove 200 miles with the body into the deep forests of New Hampshire, where the husband ordered Brittany to cut off Jonathan's head with a saw so that he could not be identified, according to court documents.
The defendant decapitated.
Let me pause right there. So, yeah, that's why I'm saying this story is crazy as shit, because, not only did he snap and kill the guy, like, he made her cut off the guy's head and stuff. So it's just like, that would be something crazy that somebody forces you to do. So I know she probably has some trauma dealing with this. And then, even the one guy that was messing with the wife, he looked young. So can you just imagine if you're a parent and you get the call that they found your child's body in this type of situation and stuff like that? So yeah, that's why I was just like, man, people don't play with people's emotions. And, I get it. The temptation, that desire be there sometimes, but it's like, don't go down that path, man. Like I said, just break it off. And even if, like, the one guy that ended up getting killed, like, stay away from this shit.
Jonathan wrapped his head in a tarp and placed it in a grave.
The gruesome crime was exposed when Fish and Game officers happened to come upon the scene. Armando Barron has pled not guilty to murder. His wife was charged with falsifying physical evidence. She pled not guilty when she appeared in court, and you could still see those 2 black eyes.
You can hear me, right?
Yes, I can.
Her lawyer, Richard Guerriero.
Everything that the state alleges that Miss Barron did, she did under duress, and I mean under duress, meaning direct fear for her life.
Yeah, stories is crazy. I wasn't sure if they had any kids, but even, like, say that couple had some kids, now it's just like the dad's in jail, the mom went through that whole situation. You don't know if she's going to be mentally right, after kind of, getting the other, because of the situation she kind of put herself in. The guy ended up getting killed and the husband snapped like that. So it's just, yeah, that was a wild story, but it just shows, like, a lot of times I think people, when they do this type of stuff, start having affairs, man, they don't think about how it could impact the other person. If they snap when they hear that news or the information gets out. So it's just a good reminder for us, man. Like, damn, like I'm just not even go down these paths, man. If you want to mess with other people, man, just be single. Like I said, have that tough conversation and just end the relationship. Then it's just like when you single, you go do whatever you want to. So, but all right, man, I just wanted to share this clip with everybody, and peace out. Keep tuning in.